Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your favorite channel, ORTM 1. This is the time of your English time of every Saturday and Sunday on your national television. First, the main headlines. The Minister Secretary General of the Presidency awarded a medal this week to 91 people, among them the staff of the Presidency and the General Secretary of the Presidency. Inauguration this week in the commune of Kalabankoro, Kulukulu region, the phase 2 of the extension project of the University of Kabbalah in Bamako. For a cost of nearly 30 billion CFA francs, 7 blocks are erected on the site of this second phase. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation took part in the summit on effective cooperation for development in Geneva. The theme of this 2022 edition is transforming the way of working together. The Minister Secretary General of the Presidency awarded a medal this week to 91 people, among them the staff of the Presidency and the General Secretary of the Presidency. These distinctions range from the rank of a Knight of the National Order to National Merit with a standing lion effigy. Report Mamari Kone, translated by Drisaka Dambele.
Modest ceremony with full meaning as it consecrates the recognition of the nation to its daughters and sons. There are 91 people decorated by the President of the Republic for nation service with efficiency and creative initiative in various fields. At the level of Republic Presidency, 44 people are elevated to the rank of Knight of National Order and 10 at the level of General Presidency Secretariat. 37 people are awarded with the Medal of National Merit with lion standing effigy. The recipients say they will serve the nation with a convinced Pan-African statesman such as Colonel Assimi Goïta. According to them, these medals are more than a token of trust from the highest authorities. It's also a heavy responsibility. That's why, despite the challenges and trials, each of them should be exemplary. The General Secretary of the Presidency took this opportunity to recall the efforts made by the predecessors who gave everything for the country's development. According to him, these distinctions should serve as a landmark for beneficiaries.
Inauguration this week in the commune of Kalabankoro, Kulukulu region, of phase 2 of the extension project of the University of Kabbalah in Bamako. For a cost of nearly 30 billion CFA francs, 7 blocks are erected on the site of this second phase. A gift from China for the training of Malian human resources and also meet the infrastructure challenge. The Prime Minister, Dr. Shokel Kokala Maiga, cut the ribbon in the presence of many members of the government and ambassadors. Report Nyanya Aliou Traoré and Gausu Jara for English Time.
The University of Kabbalah is getting bigger and bigger and more comfortable. In fact, Malian government wants to make the University of Kabbalah more comfortable in order to provide to the students an education of quality. This important infrastructure has been made possible thanks to the Chinese cooperation. From then on, this new infrastructure will allow Malian students to study better. This infrastructure cost more than 50 billion CFA. Many important personalities took part in the opening of this infrastructure. Among them, there were Prime Minister, His Excellency the Chinese Ambassador, and the Minister of Universities and Science. According to His Excellency, the Chinese Ambassador, it's a great honor for him to take part in the opening of this important infrastructure. In my opinion, Mali and China are partners, and also this infrastructure will strengthen the partnership between China and Mali. In addition, he spoke about education. For His Excellency, education is the key of the success. After that, the Minister of Universities and Science talked about the efforts of the government for realizing this infrastructure. Sir Keita said that many teachers would be paid in order to provide a better education to the young generation.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation took part in the summit on effective cooperation for development in Geneva. The theme of this 2022 edition is transforming the way of working together. Minister Diop took part in a panel where he explained the vision of the authorities of the transition to establish the sovereignty of the Malian state in accordance with the principles of the President of the Transition, Colonel Assimi Goïta. Follow part of his speech translated by Angèle Damele.
We are in a political transition which is supposed to consecrate the return to constitutional order by March 2024. The main goal of this transition process is centered on the rebirth of Malian states, which has two essential pillars. One is the conduct of political and constitutional reforms to establish sustainable governance in the country. The second essential point is on the issue of securing the country to create the necessary conditions for the return to normal. For us, Mali, we can avoid falling back into perpetual cycles of conflicts, unconstitutional changes, and other parameters. We would like to focus most of the debates today on the role of the states, because in my opinion, we cannot make peace without the states. We cannot develop without the states. We cannot even work with the civil society without the states. We must rebuild the states, which is why the essential focus is how to rebuild the states. And when I say the state, it is not the central state, it is the state in all its dimensions, including local authorities and other entities. It is extremely important that all the partners who come can register their action in the vision of the authorities of the country. And in this context, in Mali, we have defined three essential principles to be able to work with everyone.
The new ambassador of the Republic of China in Mali was this week visiting the Institute of Political Science, International Relations and Communication, ISPRIC. This visit is part of the China-Mali bilateral cooperation. Let's follow Aminata Jawara, Cooperation and Professional Insertion Officer at ISPRIC.
The visit of His Excellency, the Ambassador of China in Mali, follows a first one done by the Director General of ISPRIC, Mr. Gakou Mohamed, to enrich the friendship relations that we have with the Chinese embassy here in Mali. The visit of Friday, 9th of December, was in the same dynamic that of continuing the discussions, the reflections on possible axes of cooperation between ISPRIC and Chinese institutions through their diplomatic representation here in Mali. It was also about the possibilities for our students to learn the Chinese language through the creation of a club in our institution. The ambassador also gave a conference to the students during which he gave the result of the 20th Congress of the Communist Party of China. It was full of opportunities for students because they learned more about China-Mali relation and also about the Communist Party of China, and also about all the opportunities that China gives to Mali for years now in the domains of education, health, agriculture, and trade.
13th edition of the African Biennale of Photography, the meeting of Bamako, the photo awards ceremony called Grand Prix Seydou Keita, Malik Sidibé Prize and Bisirge Siriba Prize. For more precision, let's follow to Minister Andogoli Gindo, Minister of Craft Culture, Hotel Industry and Tourism. He is on the microphone of Alpha Maiga. His remarks are translated by Fatou Dramé.
We are here this evening for the distinction of some of you. The prizes include famous names of the high personalities of the world of photography. Mr. Seydou Keita, one of the deans of African photography. Malik Sidibé, another dean, a precursor. Very great figures. I would like to seize opportunity to renew the thanks of the highest authorities of our country. I will start with the President of the Transition, His Excellency the Colonel Assimi Goïta, who has a great conviction for the culture. He says and says it on many occasions that culture is our most great wealth. Culture is the surest lever to ensure a harmonious and sustainable development of our continent. Strong of this conviction, the President of the Transition, with the whole member of the government, decided to accompany this 13th edition of the African Biennale of Photography, inscribing it in the established tradition of holding this great festival every 2 years on African soil from Mali and more precisely in Bamako.
Easy English Learning had celebrated last Sunday the year one of its operations. This center aims at helping young willing to learn the English language at a lower cost. Many persons took part in the ceremony. Report Angèle Dambele.
The pioneers sang the national anthem of Mali sang to four sets the kickoff of the ceremony, which marks the year one of the operations of the Easy English Learning Center. Through this center, the owner Yoro Boubacar Diallo wants to help young willing to learn the English language at a lower cost. From its inspection to date, the Easy English Learning Center has welcomed more than 40 learners made out of 4 batches.
At the beginning, I noticed that a lot of people here in Mali need English, but unfortunately, they don't know where they can go, to learn English. And at the same time, some centers here in Bamako are very expensive. So that is why I do initiate to take this initiative to create this center, so that to allow a lot of people to speak English without too much thing.
According to the owner, efforts are underway in the following days to give the center a new face.
From the beginning to now, we train more than 40 people here in Bamako City Center, but it's not finished yet, We are coming with new program, new innovation. Inshallah, 2023 will be fine.
The cutting of the cake, the learners' performance, the guessing games, the testimonies were some of the main activities of the event.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of Mali News. But stay with us for the guest of the week. We are accompanied this day by Doussouba Konate. She is a country director of Accountability Lab Mali. So welcome.
Thank you.
So my first question is, what is the idea to create an accountability lab here in Mali?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you so much, Mr. DIARRA, for having me in your studio. The idea behind Accountability Lab Mali is really to inspire or to contribute in building a new generation of active citizens, of responsible leaders and accountable institutions. We truly believe that Mali is such an amazing country. We have so much potential, but we know also that we lack some of the resources or infrastructure to make sure that all of that population that have absolutely amazing idea to make the Mali a better place is here. So Accountability Lab aims at making the governance work for people. So we offer different type of programming to make sure that those engaged and active leaders can really play a positive role in the development of our country.
Okay.
And one of the main programs that we have is, for example, the campaign Integrity Icon.
What is the aim of the Integrity Icon?
Yeah, so the aim of that campaign, which is, I want to say, it's the flagship program of Accountability Lab. And this is not just a campaign that is here in Mali, it's actually in 12 countries in the world. Nepal, Pakistan, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Mexico, and Mali, obviously. So the aim of that campaign is really to have a vehicle so that we can promote integrity and good governance in the civil service. Through that campaign, we identify and celebrate honest civil servants. And there are plenty of amazing people who are working in the civil service, who are doing an amazing job. So not only we want to promote integrity and good governance in our country, we also want to create some role models. We know that there are a lot of people who want to work for the public services, and those people are actually showing us a good example. And it's also a way to create a larger network of reformers, of change makers, people that can have a great influence and can also bring some positive policy or some change in their department, in their ministry, and in their sectors.
Okay. So could you tell us about the different steps of this program?
Yes, definitely. So, so that campaign Integrity Icon, first of all, I do want to mention that it's a civil or a citizen campaign, if I can put it like this. Meaning that, first of all, the first step is nomination. We have a large network of volunteers throughout the country in all of the different regions who collect nomination from the population. So it's really the population that is saying, I have been served by this amazing people who's working at that department. Could be at the health department, could be in a school, could be so many different places. So it's really something that is coming from the population. Once we have that, once we collected all of the nomination, we have a jury of independent jurors who are going through those nominations, and they select like a top 30, top 10, and then top 5 or top 4. So once we have identified those icons, so those civil servants who are doing an amazing job, so we start with the filming. So we go into their community. So this year we have somebody that is coming from Bamako, from Ségou, from Kai, and from Sikasso as well. So they do some filming, and we have the videos that are being broadcasted on ORTM. And once we have that, and those videos are being showcased to the population so that they can, first of all, understand the amazing job that they are doing, but also reflect on what they want, what are they expecting in the civil service. And that's where we have the voting period then that starts, where the entire population in Mali can actually vote through SMS or online, through text messages and online.
Good. So from the beginning of this program, so do you notice some difficulties or progress?
Yeah, definitely. So, so this amazing program, obviously, there are some challenges, but there are mostly some good things. I want to say that that campaign, we are at our 7th edition. So it started in 2016, and we're in 2022. So right now we have 33 icons within the entire country. And I think that one of the biggest highlights is really, first of all, celebrating those icons so that they can really serve, again, as role models to the population. One of the challenges that we may have is accessing some of the region in Mali. As we all know, we are going through a security crisis. So there are some areas that are tougher to access. But nevertheless, that doesn't stop us to have icons that are coming from the region of Timbuktu, from Kai, from Sikasso. And what I want to say also is that for us, what is really important, and this is one of our success, is that we have amazing icon that after receiving that prize, they are being acknowledged to some of the most amazing responsibility in the country, such as Dr. Malik Coulibaly, who used to be the Justice Department and was and still is an integrity icon.
Okay, we are at the end of this discussion. So what can you add to conclude this exchange?
What I want to add to this is we talk a lot about Mali Coura.
Yes.
The new Mali that we want will involve the entire population, not just people here in Bamako, not just youth, not just leaders. So it's important for the population to be civically engaged, try to see how they can better their community. But we also need quality leaders. We need leaders that are really, that have vision, that will put the right action in places so that we can really move forward.
Yes.
And through that campaign Integrity Icon, we can already see some amazing people who are doing an amazing job.
Okay.
So yeah.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.